Hey Happy Valley, I'm Zech Lambert, joined alongside by Brooke Steach and our third host, Seth Engle. And we're here to bring you the weekly recap from Penn State and State College.
Coming up today, Zech and myself break down the decision to allow the general public into Penn State football's final spring practice tonight.
Then we have a special sit-down interview with Anna Garman and her experience directing a play amid the coronavirus pandemic.
And make sure to stick around for a special musical performance by Willard.
But first, here are the latest headlines.
Junior guard Izaiah Brockington has decided to re-enter the transfer portal after initially withdrawing from the portal in March. The Philadelphia native averaged 12.6 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 1.7 assists per game for the Nittany Lions last season.
Penn State Student Programming Association announced that it will host singer Charlie XCX for a virtual concert. The concert will take place tonight, April 23rd at 8 p.m. The concert is free to attend.
The Downtown State College Farmers Market announced Friday via Facebook it will open May 7th for the 2021 market season. According to the post, masking and other COVID protocols will be enforced. Vendors for the farmers market will be announced soon by the organizers.
Penn State was named among top U.S. international institutions in the 2021 Impact Rankings. Penn State ranked 4th in the U.S. and 32nd in the world out of 1,115 international institutions that participated in the Times Higher Education. Coming up next, we'll have myself and Brooke discuss the general public being allowed into Penn State football's final spring practice tonight.
Hello everyone, my name is James Langan, host of the award-winning podcast We Are Trying Our Best. Last week didn't treat us great as there was snow and cold weather, but we're getting to that point in the semester where the temperature starts rising and your grades will start dropping. So here we go with this week's weather outlook. As we move into the weekend, it will be mid-60s to high 60s with a little bit of sun every once in a while, but that isn't too bad because you're going to really hate it on Sunday when it's pouring nonstop. Just a fair warning. Now as we move into later in next week, from Tuesday to Thursday, it's going to kick up into the 80s, which means the pit stains will be out in full force. So prepare yourselves, maybe bring a paper towel or a pad to put under there. I'm looking out for you. But that has been all for the weather of Sunday, the 25th, through the next Friday. Thank you. This has been Looking Forward with Langan, and I'm looking out for you.
The allowed attendance for Friday's Penn State special spring practice for football has changed 6 times now. Brooke and Zech, what are your thoughts on Penn State's indecisiveness ahead of the practice?
First, I felt really upset for the seniors because I thought this was going to be like a special time for them. I know they've been pretty confused this whole time. Apparently, the original tickets went in their junk email, so they weren't really sure about it, which kind of like made me think maybe they're opening it for the general public because not enough seniors wanted to go or knew about it because they weren't sure what was going on. So I'm just really confused. I can't believe they changed it this many times, but I am excited that there's a lot of people that are like being allowed to go back into Beaver.
Yeah, you're right. It was a really weird situation. I think there was like a certain time slot that they could sign up, and a lot of people didn't see it because it was in their junk mail. So the whole thing was weird, but I think it's cool that they're opening it up to the general public, honestly, because me being a junior, and I know Brooke, you're a junior too, we originally would not have been able to go to the first spring practice because it was for freshmen, and then this one either because it's for seniors. And, we missed out on a year of football too. So it's cool that everybody can go, first come, first serve. So if you really want to go, you can go. And I think that it's awesome that everybody's getting that opportunity. It's just weird how many times they've changed it. I mean, I think you have the list, Brooke, of how many times they've changed it.
Yeah, I have the list here, so let me pull it up real quick. First, it was obviously the freshmen had their own final spring practice, what we thought it was a final. Then it was in person for the seniors, followed by all seniors can go whether you have an in-person class or not. And then the seniors in the general public. Now, like I said, I am excited and like you said, for more people to get in, but I am a little confused why they didn't offer the full student body to go before they opened it up to everybody. But hey, at least we have fans being able to watch their last practice this year.
I think the biggest takeaway is just that, Penn State is listening. They heard how upset everybody was, including freshmen, that the seniors weren't allowed to go, how bad everybody felt for the seniors. So they listened, they heard us, and they did something about it. Maybe it wasn't exactly what we wanted, but hey, they listened to us, and that's really what's most important.
Yeah, and I do feel for the freshmen. I know they obviously had a rough transition into college. So at least they get to go to 2 of the games this year. I know a lot of my freshman friends from other clubs are going, so.
Thanks, Brooke and Zach. Next up, I will be interviewing student theater director Anna Garman.
Hello everyone, I'm Jared Smith, and alongside me is
Alexis Yoder,
and we are your host of Sports Speak, which is
a podcast from the Daily Collegian that talks about all the happenings in the Penn State sports world.
So hey, tune in, come in, give us a listen, and we do more than just talk about sports. We have Fred, a dragon. So if he's not a dragon, he's a crocodile. We haven't figured that out yet, but give us a listen.
Welcome back to 5 Minutes. It's like 60 minutes but shorter. I'm Seth Engle. Today we're joined by Anna Garman, who's a junior majoring in double English and philosophy. Her play Gruesome Playground Injuries is making its opening night at Schwab live at 8 p.m. Saturday, and that will also be live streamed. So Anna, tell us a little bit about your unique setup prior to the release of this play.
Yeah, so this is a show that was obviously originally intended to be performed live, but because of the complications of COVID, we've had to adapt a lot of things. But we originally had all of these plans to possibly film and pre-record and release online, or maybe release on a different kind of format, or et cetera. But we were offered a wonderful opportunity to perform in Schwab live and live stream it to anybody that would like to watch.
So obviously this opening night is going to be very unique, but can you talk about kind of the unique process that you took through, practice and all that leading up to it?
Yeah, of course. So COVID has obviously changed a lot of things about the way that we have to do things in person versus virtually. So a lot of our rehearsals have all been completely virtual. We've had a lot of rehearsals on Zoom, limited time to be working in person. So that means a lot of extra communication between actors and directing staff and all sorts of things. And then also dealing with changes as they come. Obviously the things that we are or aren't allowed to do with the university has been changed constantly as we move into different phases. So we've constantly had to be on our feet and kind of thinking about what things have to change, how they have to change, et cetera. And we've been constantly changing things about the show, the way that we put it on, the technical elements, the spacing between actors, and all of these things. So it's been a whirlwind of things changing, but it's been a lot of us trying to adapt to everything that we're getting as the information comes in.
Yeah, so what would you say right now after you're about to be done with this? Looking back on it, how do you think you have learned from this whole experience? How do you think it's kind of strengthened your abilities, looking out now?
Yeah, of course. I have learned so much about how to be a leader. I've never directed before, especially, and this club is something that is so, NRT is so close to my heart and I'm so passionate about. So I've learned so much about what it takes to be a director, what it takes to step into that leadership role, and what it takes to organize a directing staff and a cast and a tech crew, and who you have to talk to about what, and the things that I've never had to think about before. So I've had to learn so much about how to look bigger picture at things that you don't get to do when you're acting or doing tech for a show.
And is there anything in like your everyday life aside from theater that you think you've learned through this whole experience?
Yeah, I have such an appreciation for the people that are in this cast and crew in general, and for all of the people around me, just in my life in general. But I think that everybody has been so understanding and so on top of things when I have needed, when things have changed, when I've had to have extra meetings or had to go in for to change a bunch of things. So everybody has just been really, really understanding of that. So I've learned tenfold to appreciate what people are doing around me, and just not take for granted anything that people are doing to help out.
So speaking specifically, what was one change that occurred during this whole process that was probably the most difficult to, come back from?
Yeah, so the biggest change was actually moving into Schwab. So we originally thought that we were going to have an entirely virtual format. We were going to pre-record everything, film from locations around campus as well as locations off campus, and film entirely, edit it together and put it out on YouTube as a premiere. However, we were offered the opportunity to perform at Schwab, which came with a ton of changes, things we never had to think about before, like the lighting and the sounds and social distancing and the way that we had to do that on a stage and how we had to work with the staff at Schwab. So there was a lot of things that had to change based on that. So that was definitely the biggest thing, but it turned out being the most wonderful thing because now we get to do live theater.
It's awesome. That's pretty much all for me. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Hi, I'm Brooke Steach here with Hey Happy Valley, and we're here to start off our game show. Okay, I'm here with Caitlin, who is a freshman now. I'm gonna ask you this multiple choice question about Penn State trivia, and you'll have 30 seconds to answer. So the question is, how many campuses does Penn State offer? Either A, 20, B, 15, or C, 17.
I'm gonna go with 20.
That is right.
Yay!
So you won. Thank you for playing.
Welcome back to the Collegian office. I'm Zech Lambert, and this is my pick of the week. Last week, we went with Taylor Swift. This week, we're staying in music again, but we're going with Ian Dior, completely different genre. He released 2 songs on an EP titled Still Here. One of the songs is called Shots in the Dark with Trippie Redd, and I think they play off of each other very well, and overall it's a really good song. I love the guitar in it, and I think it's probably the better of the 2 songs. The other song, though, Don't Wanna Believe, is still a great song, and both of them have been added to my personal playlist, and I think if you check it out, you'll add them to yours as well. Well, that wraps up our news segment for this week's episode of Hey Happy Valley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content.
And finally, to wrap up the show, we have a special musical performance by Willard.
Once again